Hi, Sharks. My name is Tommy Priscilla, and I'm an Air Force pilot from San Diego, California. I'm here today seeking $100,000 for 25% of my company. Now, Sharks, I love summer days as much as the next guy. What's not to love, right? I mean, backyard barbecues, evening baseball games, I love it all. But Sharks, there's one thing about summer that I just really don't love. It's freaking hot. And if you've been stationed in the deep south like I have for the last 12 years, or deployed overseas to Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa, you know that those places get crazy hot. I got sick and tired of sweating through my clothes every time I stepped outside and just always being uncomfortable. So I fused together a creative way to stay cool and beat the summer heat. Sharks, you guys ready to cool off?
Yeah, sure we are.
Introducing the one and only PickupPools. Sharks, as you can see, the PickupPool is the ultimate truck bed swimming pool. This patented pool liner instantly transforms the bed of your pickup truck into an above-ground pool. Simply pull the corners of the PickupPool over the corners of your truck bed, add water, and bam, you're ready for a pool party. When you're done, there's a drain in the back. You can drain the water without lowering your tailgate.
I like it.
Now, Sharks, the PickupPool is a brand new product in an untapped market. So what do you say? Who wants to go for a swim and make a deal with PickupPool?
How did you come up with this?
My inspiration was my daughter.
Oh.
Way back when I got the idea for this, we were living in Arkansas, 2014, crazy hot summer. And my daughter says, Daddy, I want to go swimming. And I'm like, I'm heartbroken. And she's heartbroken because I don't have a swimming pool. So I was like, let's see what I can do. I go in the garage. I'd seen it done before. I was like, I'll get a tarp. I got some punch cords. I make this thing in the back of my truck, and it worked, but it was an ugly mess.
And what if it leaks?
These do not leak. These are very thick, durable material, lifetime guarantee. It's the same stuff above ground pool liners are that last 30 years.
Wow, good for you, Tom. First of all, thank you for your service.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
What's the patent for?
So the patent is it's the adaptable watertight barrier. I'm the only person who can make the bed of the pickup truck watertight.
So where do you sell these now?
So I sell them mainly online.
How much do you sell them for?
So they cost me $110 and $117 to make for the two sizes. And then I sell them through my website for $200 and $210 respectively.
How much have you sold?
Year to date, $7,060.
All right. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Not a lot of sales.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, I want to get
somewhere,
your reaction first, Peter, and I got a couple notes too.
yeah, so somewhere on here I've got a want noise, but like, you know, the $7,000, look, it looks like a fantastic idea, and I can tell you that the challenge he's going to run into in sales is that there really just isn't a market for it, right? It's a great idea. Someone's going to kick the tires, say, wow, I'd like that, but then realize that I'm just going to get a blow up inflatable, right? Like, so it's a great gimmick, great idea. He's got a patent, and I just don't know where it's going to go if he's only got $7,000 in sales. So as someone looking for investors, you know, if that was $700,000, I guarantee you that would be a whole different conversation.
Yeah, they did. They went back and forth about 3 or 4 minutes about, yikes, that those are really low sales numbers, and the margins weren't all that great.
Yeah.
So that was a huge point. Matt, I want to have you talk trademarks first. Did you look that up?
Yeah. So I found their trademark registration, and they do have a registration,
Okay.
but it's a design mark. So design
yeah,
mark
that-
is the
okay.
logo,
Yeah.
as opposed to a word mark, which is typically kind of preferred, to be totally honest, and that protects the letters of the name, PickupPools. So they opted for a design mark smartly because there's no way they can register PickupPools as a word mark because it's descriptive of the product. So terrible name, but they did manage to register the logo associated to it with a disclaimer to PickupPools. So you can start a business called PickupPools. I can start a business called PickupPools, you know, and not get sued for trademark infringement unless we violate their design.
Yeah.
So,
And I will, you know, excellent to know. Yeah. So if you're saying, you know, at least they got something started and looks to be registered. So good for them. On the patent side, that got the attention of Mark. I mean, Mark asked right away, hey, what is that patent for? And he kind of quickly snapped back. This is for basically preventing, you know, it's a watertight barrier. And not just for truck beds. They actually, I want to give them some kudos. The patent attorney who helped them with this did quite a good job. I'm going to pull the patent up and go patent nerdy on you guys.
Yeah.
For a little bit. I had a chance to pull this one up. And no doubt about it, Thomas Christella, Sherwood, Arkansas, country boy, and a service member. Thank you for your service. I guess this is issued, filed in 2014 and granted in 2016. So it's good for 20 years from the date of filing. So it's good till 2034, over 10 years of life left on it. You can see some of the pictures. They are exactly what he was showing. A lot of folks that are new to looking at patents, they think, oh, okay, he's got ownership on these drawings and this is what he owns. But when you actually find out at the bottom is the claims. That's what you actually find out. The written words is what he actually owns. So you got to scroll down to the bottom. We're on page, I don't know, page 7, claim 1. And what I like about this, you will not find the word truck in this entire claim. So what's great is it does not limit to trucks, but it does require 4 elements. Okay. And that's where I think there's quite a bit more limitation than he's letting on here. Right. The adaptable barrier, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll read the first preamble. For reception within a cavity, which is cool, right? Open cavity defined by at least one elongated object providing a watertight compartment. Comprising is a fancy word. It means at least these elements. And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements to this independent claim. So all 5 of these things have got to be present in order for it to be infringing. So there's got to be a base sheet with a front edge, the sidewall, and then the sidewall, this third element, wherein the base sheet and sidewall are connected. Okay, and that's not too hard to appreciate. But this interesting part is this peripheral rim, which I don't think we could see. Looks like a separate rim portion that goes around, has to go on top of, which you saw the bed of the truck or whatever that cavity is. And then there's this hugging effect, which is interesting. Now, the hugging effect is going to be described in the spec. But I thought it was decent. It's actually pretty cool that they didn't specify. Sometimes you see these inventors will do their own patents, and they'll say it's just for the bed of a truck, and they'll put the dimensions on there.
I'm kind of curious about that, JD. I mean, he even mentioned that this is something that, he's seen before, right, on TikTok or YouTube or wherever he saw it originally. How is this
life hack?
Yeah,
that's one of those life hacks that.
Well, so that's when each of those elements. So in order for those, the prior art, they didn't have all those elements broken out. So the more elements, the more wording you see on a claim means it's a narrower scope. Okay, in general. But I just want to highlight that, kind of a pro and a con on the actual patent asset.
Yeah. Dude's got a fancy tarp.
He does have a super fancy tarp. You nailed it. Got a deal. Okay, Barbara Cochran offered him a deal, but sort of contingent upon working with his wife, which was interesting. Mark did it. He offered it 33% for $100,000.
Really?
Unfortunately, it appears that they're no longer in business, and so I think just for whatever reason, you go to the let's go here. Where was I?
I can give you the reason.
Yeah, unavailable here currently, but maybe they're selling somewhere else. I don't know. What do you think, Peter?
Well, so when I went on Amazon while you were showing on that, there's other products out there now that are inflatable and $79. So really the $79 price point is where, and I look at it this way, when you're bringing a gimmick to market, you have to understand consumer behavior. 20s, 40s, 60s, 80s, 100s. That's kind of like certain products in the gimmick world. If you exceed those, we'll spend $20 on a gag gift. No big deal, right? We'll never think about the value of that. I'll spend $60 on a tailgate game. Never think about that because that's about the average. A pickup truck pool liner bed, $100, but if it's 80, I'm getting it for sure, right? So I have to own a pickup truck and I got to own it. So the ones that you see on Amazon that are selling really well in that same style are inflatable on the side so that when you actually sit in the truck, it's a little bit more comfortable. But the key point here is someone took the time to take the tarp, like you said, the fancy tarp, and turn it into a product. Just that inflatable sides makes it look like a product and not gimmicky, where I'm, again, for $200, I'm thinking, I know where I can get some vinyl and I can do this myself and almost like life hack it. And that's what you don't want. Consumer has to look at that product and go, I can't make that in my garage. That's perfect. It's like, and it's done. It's like convenient. It's inexpensive and it's done. And that's my starting point when I look at things versus, I think, again, most times inventors, they think, well, how do I protect the idea? And, and this is why we were friends. Like, I know they call you before they call me. I can only advise that if you're going to do any type of investment, get your bang for your buck. I mean, it's really easy to own your own product on Amazon today. Like, there's companies that are, sell $5-6 million annually that are owned by single individuals that invented a product. We have several of them.